What's going on, y'all? We're gonna get started in a second. Just about to send this link out, then we're gonna go just start it. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So we better go ahead and look at these indices real quick. But let's just go over how the week's gonna be looking red folder wise. All right, bam. So we got a few red folders today. So the euro currently got some red folder, got French flash services, then we got German flash manufacturing, and then later on during London at 4:30, we got the pound flash manufacturing going on, the 9:45 a.m. going on in New York. We got the USD flash services going on. So that's going to be going on today. So just going to be on the lookout for that. Let's see here. Then nothing really Tuesday except the New York session. We got USD again, consumer confidence. And then let's see, Wednesday, we have nothing really going on until New York session. We got Canada with the monetary policy report. Then Thursday, nothing until New York session. We got the euro main refinancing rate, monetary policy statement, then the USD 15 minutes later, advanced GDP. And then also euro again at the ECB conference, 8:45 a.m. right here. Then Friday, we have JPY all day, BOJ press conference. And then besides that, there's nothing until 8:30, Canada and USD, GDP, and core PCE price index. So it should be a pretty chill week. Just have to be on the lookout for that. But we do have some clear trends forming. We already have them. Went over this in the Zoom meeting with the members last night. So it's already playing out like I assumed. So last night we already talked about how we're in an uptrend. And the members, y'all see how I filled the gap up. Remember, the gap wasn't filled up. Retraced right to it, and now it's on this wall right here, looking like it's about to come back up. And when we go into bigger time frames, we can clearly see that US30 is in the uptrend. Hasn't really made any lows for the past couple of weeks. Struggled to break this wall here at this level of price. Let me highlight it for y'all. So we see how this was a strong support level, and the price struggled for days to break this level until we had the huge breakout candle on Friday. And then now we're above this level of price right here that we can clearly see when we zoom out. There's a support level here, support level, resistance is on top of it now, and it's retesting it, which we'll see when we go on to a smaller time frame. We can see that how it hit on the 4 hour is pushing back up. And then when we go even on an even smaller time frame, we can see how price is trying to push back up. It's already above the zone right now, but it's underneath this level of price, which is right at this gap. So I want to see it come on top of here and then close on top. And then we could potentially look for buys to here minimum. So we can get a quick scalp here to around 31,380-ish. Or depending on how it reacts, it could potentially keep pushing up. But we're just going to have to see what happens during New York session, because again, that move's not going to really happen until further down into New York. But we do have that news at 9:45 a.m. So we're going to see how that affects it. But strictly looking at market structure, we are in an uptrend. So unless that makes it reverse down harshly, because we do have a slight order block on the daily time frame that it could try to kind of retrace, because it is right at the top of this daily zone right here, like we can see right here when I make this thick again. So the news could potentially make it retrace down to here around 30,910-ish, or it could come down to this level here, this support level, which is also about the 50% of the order block at around 30,000, like 720-ish. Then it could come back up. So it can either come back down here, then push back up, or the news can make it stay on top of this level and then just shoot up from right here. But we are going to be looking for buys mainly. If we look for any sells, it might be a quick scalp, but for the most part, we're going to be following market structure. We can see it's clearly making higher lows and higher highs. It's just been pushing up. So it's just a retracement here. So it could retrace here back at this support resistance level, then push back up. So that's what we're going to be looking for. But we are going to be looking for mainly buys. We want to see it break this level of price right here at 30,110, 30,120. If we can stay above this level of price and continue to push up, then we can see a new high be made this week. So that could happen today, or it could do retracement today to retest this level of price right here. And then Tuesday or Wednesday, we could see the push up. So it just depends on what the news does today and then the news tomorrow. Because on Wednesday, let me see. Wednesday, we don't really have no red folder news for the USD. We have a slight orange folder, but nothing really going on. So it's going to be depending on what it today and tomorrow's news, if it does affect the markets, what it decides to do. But it is going to be looking like it's going to continue the uptrend, and we are going to be strictly looking for buys. But it's doing a slight retest. You can see it already hit one of the key levels. I wanted to see it get hit already. That happened when market opened, really. So now it's just doing a retracement during London session, which is normal. Well, it started during Asian session, but it is still above the zone. So it's going to be watching this and seeing if we can catch some buys on this today. But I do see it coming back to at least 30,000, like 31,380, 31,390. I do potentially see that happening. Now, whether that happens before New York session or before the news, that's the question. But I do see it at least hitting there today. Now, let's pull up NAS. NAS is very similar, of course, like US30 in the uptrend. We can see that on the 4-hour. We can start to see it more clearly on the daily. Before, it was still very bearish. It didn't have all this going on. It was looking like this, even though US30 was looking bullish. But as we know, or as you should know, or if you don't, you're going to know this stream. All the indices like to follow US30 for the most part. So as we can see, NAS is slightly correcting itself and catching up to US30. And we see the trend reversal starting now. Why do we see that? Because, well, let's zoom out. We see the clear downtrend here doing its thing, right? Then we see it hit this level, tried multiple times. We see the multiple cancels do the retest, then it push back up. And now it's right above this wall here, which is a clear support resistance level. And it's already it's retesting it now. So when we're looking for buys as well, I already filled up this imbalance, got this order block going on. So we're going to be looking for buys for this as well. Now, since we do have that news going on during London session, we're going to see if we can catch any pips or moves. So we're going to check out the currency pairs in a second. I just want to go over the indices real quick in the futures and also just see what's happened since I've looked at them since last night. So this thing actually did the whole move. So it's right back at this level. So I can see NAS going back up to, it's already hit this. So depending on how it reacts to, if it can stay on top of this level or even retraces a little bit, I can see NAS going up to at least 11,000, like 440, 11,450 today. I can definitely see that happening. But again, it depends on how the right for news looks. But it is respecting this level of price. Already refilled this gap up, as we can see. And we can see right here, it already refilled this gap up. And now it's on this level of price and it's continuing to push back up. So we could have entered right here. We entered right here. We'd be up right now a few thousand pips. Looks like that would be like 2,000 pips currently. But only trade London and New York session because I like to get some sleep at least. So we're going to see how price moves later on today, but it is in a good position for a buy, just like US30, J30, It's kind of underneath the zone, but again, if US30 and the other ones push up, this one most likely push up too, because we can clearly see it came back down, refilled this gap as well, and the candle structure looks very similar to the indices. Like, it looks very similar. They all have the same candle structure right there, and they all refilled their gaps. SPX looks the same too, refilled the gap right here. So it's been watching those, but US30 and NAS have the best looking entries, but if they all push up, they all might push up at the same time, because we even see USDX starting to uptrend here. You see it clearly making new highs, and you see it on top of this level of price. So I want to see some new highs be made today, this week definitely. Y'all jump in and make sure to hit that like button, y'all. So US oil, I could potentially look for a buy setup. It is on a strong level of price, but it depends on what it wants to do today. Again, with the news going on, but as we can see here, the past couple of days, with respect to this level, you can see the rejection wicks, and even seeing it today, how it hasn't broken past this level right here. I'm talking about this level right here. You can see even right now, it hasn't passed that level, and it's retesting it. So I want to see if it can push back up. That's what we're looking for, because you see the strong resistance level here, you see the strong support level here, strong support level here. So I want to see if it can respect this level and at least come back up to here, if not here, minimum. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that today. See what it's going to do. Then gold is doing a nice little retracement under this level of price, which I'm not surprised. Hit the daily zone right here, as well as the level of price right here, and it's rejecting down. So it could come down to, well, it's already hit this wall, as you can see right here. It's already hit this wall right here, and you see it's retracing back up. So depending on if it can break this wall, it could come back up later today. Again, it depends on how impactful that red folder news is. But it's already hit this level here. As you can see right here, price already rejected this level again. It's pushing back up. It hit this wall. So it could potentially come back up to here. Again, this probably won't happen today. It'll probably be towards the end of the week. I definitely do see it coming to at least 1696. Again, that's probably later towards the week, and depends on if it can break back above this level here. So I want to see how it's going to react to this price here at 1645, and also if it can break this price here at 1651. If it can break 1651, it's going to be interesting to see what it does there. But I really want to see it come back up and break this level. And if it can stay above this level, we definitely can see some buys this week. So let's go over the currency pairs. I was looking at a few currency pairs. Let's see if there's any at a decent position. So I was looking at AUD New Zealand. All right, so AUD New Zealand, if you watched any of the previous live streams, or if you're a member, you already know we've been at downtrend for the past couple of weeks, and we see that's underneath this level of price right here, and it's already starting to move. So let's go ahead and go on the smaller time frame and see exactly what's going on. I want to see if it'll retrace a little bit more, just so we can get a better entry, but it looks like it's already dropping. It already hit this level of price right here, and it's continuing to push down. It's making a new low as we speak. So let's go on to 15 and see what's going on. Yeah, it's a little low already. We can still get a good entry here, but I would like to see it. It already did the retest though, so the move's already starting. I would have liked to enter around right here, but it already retested this level, like we can see right here. It already retested this level, this wall right here. We see this candlestick right here retested, then retested again, and it's dropping. So let's zoom out real quick and see if there's a wall towards the left. Let's see if we can find one. probably gonna have to go on a bigger time frame. So let's just go on the 4-hour. Okay, we can clearly see a wall right here now. So let's see. So it's actually on a slight wall right now and has a lot of levels of traffic to break, and this is the 4-hour time frame. So I want to see if it'll retrace a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, I want to see if it'll retrace a little bit, because the move already kind of started for me. I really don't want to chase that, but I do kind of like how it's looking. But I would have wanted to enter right there. Out of curiosity, let's see what the risk to reward is. If we were to enter here. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put the stop loss where I want to put it. That's the only thing. But I do see it dropping though this week. And it's already starting to move today. You can just clearly see zooming out on the 15, how it just dropping down. You see how I immediately treated this as a resistance level, broke underneath, retested multiple times. You can see all the retests here, here, and then made a level of price right here, this wall here. And now it's currently staying underneath this wall. So I want to see if it's going to retrace back up a little bit. If it can retrace back up a little bit, then I might enter. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone because it's a little bit too far for me for where I would want to put my stop loss and stuff. So I'm just going to leave this alone, let it do its thing for now. But I do see sales for this. Like I've been calling sales for the past couple of weeks for it. We do have this level of traffic right here. We do have this wall right here. But as you can see, clearly making lows ever since September. Towards the end of September, it's clearly been making new lows. There's underneath this wall price right here. So, and it's pushing. So I'm going to leave that alone though. But if it retraces back up, I will enter that. Now 80 CAD. It's at an interesting position. So I'm just going to be watching this because I don't really like trading when it looks like this. Very interesting position. So I want to see what it decides to do. I want to see if it's going to reverse on us or it's going to continue to drop down like it's been doing. If we really zoom out, it's been doing it for a while. It's been really dropping since last year, but if we just keep it simple, it's been dropping since April of this year. We had a little reversal back up here, and then August, towards the end of August, it's been dropping back down consistently. Have a little level of traffic built here, so I want to see if it's going to continue to drop down or if it's going to come back up to at least this level of price or this price. So just me watching that. Not going to really jump into that or anything. New Zealand USD, we could possibly, if it can respect this level and stay on top of this level, we could possibly see a buy to at least 57.90, which from where it's at now would be about 40 pips, which isn't bad. Or we could see it go up to 58.45, depending on what price decides to do during London today. Now, Euro JPY, I'm going to be watching this. Still going to be looking for buys for the most part. We can see today was kind of a crazy day, kind of similar to that Friday. Came all the way down to the support level here, which was an old resistance level that we can see right here. You can clearly see how it's resistance, 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 resistance. Now it's support, 2 rejection wicks in a row pushing up. So I want to see if we can stay above this level of price right here at 146.70. And if it can stay above there, then we can see it already hit these levels. I was going to say we can see a buy to 147.18 or the extreme 147.90 to almost 148. So just going to be watching this to see what it decides to do later on today. But so far, it seems to be trying to respect this level, but it's still too early for me to enter personally. I want to see price push up a little bit more before I jump into anything. So let's zoom in a little bit. So it's built a nice wall right here. So before we even see the big move happen, we have to see it break this level and then continue to break up. So we're going to see if we can do that. It's got a nice wall right here. It is above this level price right here at like 146.80. Well, it was above it. So first we need to see if it can break back above that before we even get anywhere. So just gonna be watching this for now. It is Monday. Volume is really not going to really pick up today until closer to New York. So we might see some moves during London, but for the most part, most Mondays, it's pretty slow. So we're just going to be looking for possible setups for the day and the week, of course. But, we got to take things day by day. So just going to be watching the charts. Euro New Zealand, I'm going to leave that alone for now. Euro AUD. The members watched that previous video I dropped on Friday. Ended up doing the move I wanted to see it do. Ended up doing it earlier today. So that is a good sign. Euro CAD underneath the strong level of resistance right here. So yeah, most of these I'm going to be leaving them alone for the time being. Just going to be watching the charts mainly today. Wouldn't be surprised if I don't enter much until New York session. But London's about to start in about 3 minutes. So we're going to see if we can see anything, see any setups, and we'll go from there. Now, GJ is underneath the strong level of resistance. We can see that clearly right here, how this resistance level, resistance level, resistance level, resistance, resistance, resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised if it rejects it again, but GJ is still bullish, as we can see. Did a retest just like EJ retested the support level today. We can clearly see that when I highlight it here. See it's resistance, 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 resistance. And then you can see these candlesticks here treating it as support. Did the retest. Now it's underneath this level of resistance here. So I want to see if it can break above it. It already broke above it, but stay above it. And then potentially see it go to 170.30 at the highest. And then from there, see if it can make a new high. Because again, it hasn't been this high in a very long time. So it's going to be interesting if it can stay above this level of price. So let me just keep an eye on that to see what's going on, to see if it can continue to do so. But again, that probably won't be until closer to New York session or later into London. So let's see what else. GBP New Zealand's got a little wall right here, so I'm just going to be watching this. Probably won't jump into this, just going to watch and see what it does today. But it is above this level of price right here, so we could possibly look for buys. Let's take a closer look here. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Yeah, so it's above that wall right here. We can see it's above this level of price here. Let's change the color on that. Oops, let's go into 15. So you can see it's retested this low and it's on top of it. So we could see buys. Well, it depends how it reacts to this wall right here at 98.28. But even from where it's at right now, that's like 20 pips, which isn't bad. I do see it going there. And depending on if it can break that level, then we can see it go to, let's see. We can see it go up to here at like 96.60. So that's still not bad because we do have a nice wall right here. So we're going to treat this wall as a support level. We can definitely catch, I can definitely see at least 20 pips, if not more, if it can respect that level being caught for sure. So we're going to be watching it, but London session did just get started. So let's see what these first candlesticks look like. GBP AUD, I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see what GBP CAD is up to. GBP CAD is a little too high for me, but I do see it. Well, it already hit that level. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave this alone. It's a little too high for me to want to enter it. All right, so let's go back to the indices because we just saw that we're retracing. Yeah, so it's pushing back up again. Clearly see it's respecting this level of price right here. So yeah, I could definitely, for the scalpers on here, I can definitely see it. Well, it's already doing it as we speak. I was about to say I can see it coming back up to here, but it already did that. But I do see it coming up to here. Now, will it break this or not? Which is 31, like 180, 31, 160. Will it break this or not? That's another question. But regardless, that's like 3,000 pips that you can catch. You can already see it's retesting levels, so I can see it hitting here. For the scalpers out there, you can definitely potentially catch about 3,000 pips. Give me 1 second. Shit, I need some water. All right, what's going on, y'all? Y'all jumping in, make sure to hit that like button. But yeah, it's looking good right now, so it is looking promising for a buy. Let's see what the other indices are doing. Probably the same thing. Okay, retested this wall here, rejecting, but it is looking good. Still respecting this level. Yeah, so things are looking good right here. So let's take a look at Euro JPY and see what that's up to. So Euro JPY is above this level now, which is a good sign. So I see us catching at least 20 pips a minute. We can see potentially catch minimum 20 pips right here. I do see that. So if we enter here, I want to see at least hit these wicks here, if not right here in a perfect world. But I do see my thing bugging out. I definitely do see it hitting this level here at 147.05. So from where it's at currently, that's about 20 pips. I do see it seeing that, but I want to see this candlestick stay above here, which is doing so right now. We see this was a resistance level. Now it's getting treated as a support level. So we got a new 5 minutes. So I want to see what this 5 minute looks like. And depending on what that 5 minute looks like, we could potentially see a buy setup. Now, if y'all watched Friday's live stream, if you haven't watched that after this live stream, or watch it later on this week, but we're looking for Euro JPY setup, and that thing exploded on us last week. So I don't want to miss that again. But again, it is Monday, so it would be very shocking if we see a huge abrupt candle pop out of nowhere. But still going to keep an eye on that. Let's see what else. GG, I'm going to leave that alone. GN respecting this level. Let's see. Yeah, so even to right here is a decent amount of pips. About 30 pips right here where this wall's at. I can see it at least hitting there. So we do have a few like small setups. Well, 30 pips isn't bad. So I shouldn't say small setup. But for like GPAUD and stuff, what was it GP? What was it, GN? Yeah, okay, GN. It's not too bad. It just did the move that I was talking about. I was waiting for the next candlestick that just popped up, but it literally just exploded and did the move that I was just talking about. We literally switched the screen for like 1 minute, and in 1 minute, that thing shot up 10 pips. Your JPY has been sneaking on us, but it's all good. It's going to retrace. Price always retraces. Let's see what else is going on. AD/USD retracing up still. Let's see what AD/JPY is up to. So AD/JPY is at a much cleaner setup, zone to zone wise. So if the other JPY pairs can continue to push up, I want to see AD/JPY stay above this level. It looks like it's trying to. Let's go on the 5 minute, take a closer look. Yeah, it's breaking above. It's got a small little wall. So I want to see what the next candlestick on the 15 looks like. And I want to see it stay above this level. And then we can potentially see some buys. Let's see. It's about 10 pips. Yeah, so we're gonna just watch this and see what it does. But the JPY keeps pushing going into New York. We definitely can see some buy setups on the JPY pair. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for. I'll put this up. I'm gonna see at least it here. If it goes on zone, that's great, but I don't see that happening today. It could happen today, but I don't see that happening today. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. But JPY pairs are pushing, so that's definitely a good sign. So let's go back to the indices and see what's going on. So it just broke above this level, which is good for us. So if any of y'all do jump in for a scalp, y'all should be blue. Because like I said, I do see it coming to here and it's about to hit that wall right. Well, I already hit it, but it looks like it's about to hit it again. So if anyone jumped in for a scalp, y'all just made like 3,000 pips. Some money. I jumped in for a quick scalp, but should have jumped in earlier. But it's all good. But I really like going for the bigger moves. So I'm going to just keep an eye on this. I do like how this is looking though. So I already hit some TPs. Let me see. If it can respect this level, then it can really go to what you call it, these next levels here, which would be this wall right here. So depending on what the next candlesticks look like, and if it can break this level, I can't see it coming even higher. Let's see what these pairs are up to. Let's go back on US oil too. Got oil pushed up. So we got this wall right here. Got 1 minute to the next 5 minutes. Let me just switch back to the JPY pairs to see what they're doing. Yeah, so for indices, I still see scalps going up for buys. I'm trying to see if I can put in a long-term position for these. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Because the scalp move already happened. I already hit this wall here, and you see it's immediately rejecting. Not a coincidence. So now I want to see if it can respect this level of price here and trade that support. And if it can do so, not only will it should be able to hit this level again, but I want to see if it can go potentially even higher up. So that's what I'm looking for right here. But as you can see, it is retracing right now. Euro JPY looks like it's pushing some more here. Euro JPY is pushing. My thing is, it likes to push and then retrace a little bit before New York session. So I don't really want to enter it if it's going to retrace before the move starts. Take a closer look. See right here, it's above this level of price right here. I want to see it push up a little bit more, but it is respecting staying on top of this candlestick right here. Yeah, I like how it's looking. Let's see what GJ is up to. GJ not really moving like the other pairs. And what pair has news going on right now? I forgot which one it was. Let me see really quick. Look at the euro. It's got some news coming up in 5 minutes. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave that alone and let it do its thing. And then 4:30 GBP got some news going on. USD 945 euro, GBP and USD. Euro, GBP, USD. Yeah, so that thing retraced all the way back. So, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Right there. So as you can see, as soon as it hit that level, it retraced all the way back. So now I'm going to be waiting for the next 15-minute candlestick, which is going to pop up in about 4 minutes to see if it can respect this level. And shoot, back up. So that's what we're going to be looking for there. Because you can see it hit this wall right here, which currently is being treated as a resistance level. So I'm going to see if we can treat it as a support level. And if we can treat it as a support level, then we can see it potentially going further. So that's what we're going to see. We want to see what this candlestick one closes at, and then what the next candlestick looks like. So that's what we're going to be waiting. Whoops. Let's not leave this page. That's what we're going to be waiting for. Yeah, and you can see they're all rejecting as we speak. Well, you can't see on this one. So let's go on the smaller time frame and see if we can see. Yep, you see it rejecting as we speak. They're all literally right where the gap's at. You can see by the green dotted line, this is where the gap's at. This is where the gap's at. Well, it hit the gap. Let's see what NAS looks like. NAS is right where the gap's at. J30 is right where the gap's at. SPX, USDX. So US30 is the only one that's not exactly where the gap's at, but it hit the gap. Well, it is right now, so never mind, scratch that. They're all at the gap right now. And it's pushing back up. So I want to see if it can close above the support level that's treated as a resistance. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see that before I put in a longer position trade-wise. Gold's still respecting this level here at 1659 as resistance. So still going to be ping-ponging between these two levels right here. Definitely see that happen. So let me go on a bigger time frame first. And the level I'm talking about is the level it's about to hit again that it rejected on the previous 4-hour time frame, which is the level. I'm trying to get it perfect. The level right there. We can see in the last 4 hours, it hit it and rejected harshly back up. Ended up closing right where this rejection wick is, and now we see price at this price again. So I want to see if it can stay underneath here. Treat as resistance. If it can do that, I definitely see it going 100 pips down to, well, 300 pips down to 1650. Probably not 1650 on the dot, but at least 1650, like 1650.50. So I definitely do see it going at least to 300 pips down. If not, all the way down back to this zone right here at 1645. We do have a slight imbalance here that hasn't been filled. So it could come down to this level here, if not a little bit farther, to fill this imbalance up before it continues to push back up. So I wouldn't be surprised there. But looking at the bigger time frames and then going down to the smaller time frames, well, we can see on the 30-minute. So if we stay underneath this wall here, we could see a potential sell set up. Quick scout, nothing too crazy. So I am going to keep an eye on that, but it is pushing down as we speak. So let me see here. 80 New Zealand looks like it's retraced a little bit too, so that's good. So everything's retracing right now, which is why, you don't want to jump into things too quick. Don't just let them do his thing. US30 still trying. I still want to see it close above that level. We got about, well, new 15 is about to pop up right now. So let's see what it does. It's right back at this level here. So we're going to let that 15 do its thing while we look at these other pairs. 80 JPY is pushing up. Euro JPY is retesting a level. So still at a good entry. I just wanted, the question is there enough volume? Well, the news just came out, so I keep forgetting the red folder. Now, not all the time does red folder impact the news harshly, but at least for the USD pairs, for the most part, if it's red folder news, it will harshly affect the markets. But so far, we don't see nothing, but the candlestick did just start. Looks like it's trying to push up still. So I do see it hitting at least 147.05. So from where it's at currently, that's like 10 pips. I do see it at least hit there because we already see the rejection wick. I'm just going to let it do its thing for now. US30 looks like it's trying to push back up. 80 JPY struggling a little bit. Let's go ahead to AD New Zealand. So AD New Zealand's retraced up a little bit, which is good for us. Let's zoom out some. So it's retested this level here at this wall. I don't know if it'll go any further. So let me play around with it. So we enter right there. I would want to see it come to here. This would be the ideal entry for me right there. Then I could put my stop loss above this wall right here. Well, it looks like it's going, it already hit that actually. So is that a good position for entry? It's the risk to reward good. It's not looking good, as great as I wanted to. Almost a 1 to 2. I do see it dropping down though, so I want to see if we can retrace back up some, and then we can go from there. Maybe if we can retrace up to here, which would be a 1 to 2, which would be a little bit better. But the trade is already started. The move's already started, and I do see it going down. It just doesn't have the greatest risk to reward that I prefer, but I do see price going down. It does have a slight imbalance, but not too crazy. But it could try to come and retrace up and fill that up. Let me see. But even on the 4 hour, you can see how this is a strong support resistance level, and it already retested it once on the previous 4 hour candle, and now it's pushing down. So it could come back up to retest that, but I doubt that. I don't see that most likely happening, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it already did a retest, so it looks like it's about to, oh, okay. But it looks like it's going to continue to drop down, at least from this point on. GBPJPY pushing up. EJPY rejected that level. Yeah, so that thing's retracing. So we're just going to see what happens New York session with this. So it looks like it's going to end up trying to hit this level here before it comes back up. So we're just going to let that do its thing. Let's see what's going on. We'll broke that level. Yeah, so gold's already starting to drop. Let me see something. Because I got a wall right here, so I could reject that wall. Let me see something. I'm just going to keep an eye on this. And while we're looking at that, yeah, so we could see the drop at the start right now. Could see the drop at the start right now. And I could see it going to, just treat this as a resistance. So I could see it go to like 1648. I can't see it going to 1648. And depending on how it reacts there, the furthest I can see it go to is like 1645, which still wouldn't be bad. I do see that happening potentially. Let's see. So if I was to enter this, this would be like a scalp though. So if I was to enter this, stop loss would be right here. TP right here. This would be like a small scalp. Ideal entry would have been right here. Or right here, but it is looking like, I want to see how it reacts to this wall right here though. So if it traces a little bit, I might enter this. It's already retracing slightly. New 5 minute. Yes, I think tanking. The question is, if I enter, will it retrace on me? We've already started though, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. So this is pushing down to see what the JPY pairs are up to. So it ended up retracing back down to this level, which is a good sign. So we could look for a buy. It already did a retest. Could look for a buy here. Let's pull up. Whoops. 4 hour. I see what the 4 hours looking like. Yeah, your JPY is looking good for a buy. Let's see what AD New Zealand's up to. Let me zoom out. Yes, underneath this level of traffic, it would really struggle to come back and retest this level of price. Because clearly underneath this level of traffic here. Let me zoom in. Yeah, so underneath this wall right here, put the line, try to make it exact. Underneath this wall right here, and we clearly see how this is a support level here. So let's zoom back to the right and see if it's currently treating it as a resistance. No, that's the level that it's been rejecting off of. It looks like it's about to break down that right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. For the most part, for the bigger moves, everything's retracing right now. So the USD pairs, I'm gonna leave that alone till closer to New York session. Just gonna leave that alone. Now I want to see if it can stay above this level. It's already retesting the support resistance level that we can see right here. So if it can stay above this level, then we can definitely see price come up to 147.05 going into New York session. So I just want to wait a little bit and wait for another green candlestick before I enter, but it is treating this as a support level. We can see it was resistance, then it built a wall here, and I was on top of that wall. It already broke above it, which is a good sign, but it retraced. So your JPY is looking good. And then also on Friday, all the JPY pairs already did that harsh ass retracement, which is what you see right here. Already did a harsh ass retracement, which on the big time frame was the retest of this level, which we see right here, which was the retest of the level. Then it retested it again and again today. Then it stayed above this level here. So zooming out, I would like this candlestick to push up some more. But again, the real move I want to see happen, which is making a new high, probably won't happen until Tuesday or Wednesday. But I do want to look for buy setup still for this. It's looking good for a buy setup. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Euro JPY as well as AD JPY for buys. Let's look at New Zealand JPY and see what that's up to. Leave that alone. And then let's look at ADUSD, see what that's up to. So all the USD pairs are still dropping down. So it's probably going to retest the support level again for the last time before it pushes back up. It is on this wall right here. Don't jump in and make sure that like button, y'all. Make sure that like button. There's a price is retesting this level. Yeah, so your JPY is looking good. And it's already pushing up as we speak. Yeah, so I like how this is looking. So I'm waiting for the next candlestick to see what it looks like. And if I like how it looks, I might put it in a position for a long-term buy for this. GJ struggling at this resistance level here. It's the only thing that GJ is rejecting that level. And so I might put in a position for that. EuroCAD just exploded above this resistance level, treating it as a support now. So now it's above this level, which is interesting. Let's see what that decides to do later. GBP New Zealand's at that level. So I might look for GBP New Zealand buy as well. Just put underneath this level here. So I might look for GBP New Zealand buy. Euro JPY is looking nice. AUD New Zealand is looking nice, but it's a little too far. It's respecting this level though, which is showing me wants to continue to push down. It's just I missed the exact entry. So if I do decide to enter this, probably won't put this out on the free Telegram just because the risk to reward isn't ideal. Anything I put on the Telegrams, I like to have at least be a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So if I do decide to enter this, I'll probably just do it on my own with a smaller position, of course. But I do, if it can respect this level, see it come down to 10.15. So where it's currently at, that's about 10 pips.